Hello everyone and welcome to another Star Wars figure review. Today we're going to take a look at some more Black Series 6-inch figures, and over the course of these next few reviews I'm going to give you a look at some figures from Wave 5 of the Black Series 6-inch line. This wave recently made it to retail here in the UK via Asda and Smith's stores, so if you are in the UK and you're on the hunt for these figures, make sure you check out your local Asda supermarket or your local Smith's Toy Superstore. Alternatively, you can hit the link down below in the video description in each of these videos, which will take you to staractionfigures.co.uk. At the time of filming this review, these figures are available for pre-order, although I have it on good word that they're due in stock any time now, so make sure you hit them up if you're looking for these figures. Now we're going to kick off my Wave 5 reviews by taking a look at a very cool character, and it is none other than this guy, the First Order Flametrooper. Now I was really looking forward to picking this guy up. I've been tempted for so many months now to pick up the Elite Series die-cast Flametrooper from the Disney store, but I was holding out for the release of this guy, and I am in no way disappointed. This is a phenomenal figure and one of my favourites from the wave, so we'll get on to why that is in just a little bit. Before we talk about this figure, let's take a look at the packaging that he comes in. Once again, we get the standard Black Series 6-inch packaging design for this figure. The Black Series logo located at the top with some very cool artwork down in the bottom corner. On the reverse side of the box, a brief description of the character. That artwork once again. And on the side of the box, the number of the figure in the series. So that is the packaging that the Flametrooper comes in. Now let's take a look at the figure itself. Now, as I said, I am more than impressed with this figure. The sculpt on it is fantastic and the paint job is very nice as well. Obviously, he's predominantly a white and black armoured figure, but Hasbro have knocked this one out of the park in terms of detail, sculpt and just overall execution. It's just a really well put together figure. Now, one word of warning to you guys about this one, and I'm not sure whether it was just my sample, but I have heard a few others complain about this issue as well. The peg on the backpack is very, very fragile. This is actually the second First Order Flametrooper that I've picked up, as I had to return my previous one. As soon as I took the figure out of the box, the peg on the backpack had already snapped off. So obviously it needed returning. I had to exchange it for another one. But just be aware that this is an issue. The peg on the backpack is made of a very hard and brittle plastic, and the hole on the back isn't actually big enough for the peg, so you really have to shove it in there and use some real force to get it in, and as I said, push too hard and the peg will break. Or alternatively, if you're like me, you'll open this thing up out of the box and the peg will already be floating around in the plastic tray, so do be careful with that one. Bad design on the part of Hasbro, but it's by no means a detriment to the rest of the figure. The figure itself is phenomenal, and with that issue aside, is absolutely flawless. I love the sculpt on this one, the detail, the accessories are fantastic. Just a really nice figure overall. So I'll run through articulation for you guys first, and then we'll talk about some of the details of the figure. We do of course have a ball joint and a hinge at the neck. We have hinges at the shoulders, elbows and wrists, a ball joint at the torso, hinges at the hips, double joints at the knees and double joints at the ankle. Great articulation, and as you can see, it allows you to get this guy in some really cool poses. This is the pose that we see the Flametroopers use in the opening scenes of The Force Awakens when they set fire to the Jakku village, and they're just very cool characters. As I said in my First Order Flametrooper figure review from the Armour Up series recently, I was really disappointed that we didn't get to see more of these guys in action in the film. They were really hyped up as key players in the movie, and they were only in there for, as I said, the opening scenes where they set fire to the Jakku village. It would have been really cool to have seen these guys in a little bit more action. Now, with articulation aside, I'll touch base on some of the accessories now. Obviously, as I mentioned at the beginning of the review, you've got that gas tank on the back, which is huge and looks very, very cool. Obviously, you've got the two cylinders there with the flammable gas inside. You've got a couple of pipes and tubes on there as well. Very cool looking indeed. Nice bulky backpack, always good. The flamethrower itself, as you can see, it has the tube connecting up to the backpack. The cable itself, I believe, can be removed somehow from both the tank and from the flamethrower itself, although for time constraints I'm not going to bother doing that now, but it does clip in there, and as you can see on the handle of the grip of the flamethrower as well. The weapon itself is really nicely sculpted and detailed. As you can see there, you've got some really cool black and white details, a few buttons and lights at the back there, and as you can see the trooper does hold it very nicely. I'm not entirely sure if this is the correct way of holding the flamethrower, but I couldn't actually get the figure to hold the weapon underneath, so I just had to settle for this pose, but I'm happy with it. It looks great and it's a phenomenal figure, so I definitely recommend picking this one up. One of the things I really like about this one is the fact that Hasbro did indeed fill in those grooves on the helmet. The 3 3/4 inch release just has a plain white helmet with the only black details being the visor just at the top there. As you can see with this 6-inch release, these grooves around the edge of the helmet have been filled in with black detailing, and it just makes a whole world of difference. It gives a lot more detail to the helmet and makes the figure look a lot cooler, so kudos to them for finally putting that in there. But other than that, great figure, very cool indeed. Again, articulation is fantastic, detail is really well done on this one. I love the armour. As you can see there, you've even got some sort of ammo strapped around the leg, and obviously the chest plate underneath there as well. Really cool looking figure all around, definitely a highlight of the wave. I do believe that this guy is packed 2 to a case in Wave 5, so he's the most common and easy to find figure from the wave, but that doesn't make him any less cool. If you see this guy, grab him, you will not regret the purchase. It is a phenomenal figure. So that's going to do it for this review on the First Order Flametrooper from the Black Series 6-inch line. I'll be back to give you a look at some more figures from Wave 5 of the 6-inch line next, so make sure you stay tuned for those. And until next time, as always, keep collecting, and may the Force be with you.